Hey everyone, it's Ruger. Today I'm making a video about contesting your assessed value if you live within Los Angeles County. Here I am on the Los Angeles County Assessor website. This is kind of a follow-up video on last month's video about LA County home property taxes. Right, in that video I talk about Prop 13, if you have a single family home, what to expect when you purchase a home, what rate, so on and so forth. But this is if you ever need to contest that assessed value. So living here in Los Angeles County, I've had two properties within LA County. If you've been following my channel, if you subscribe to my channel, you know that I had Camp Desert Dogs, which was vacant land I used as camping property in Los Angeles County. This was up in the high desert of the Antelope Valley type area. That property I bought on the open market, right? MLS, it was listed. I bought it. So the county, I bought it for less than $3,000. Being open market purchase or sale, the county decided to tax me at that amount, right? So simple enough. Similar if you buy a house, open market, you go open house, you put in a bid, your bid gets accepted, the county will accept that open market purchase as the assessed value. My other property that I've purchased here within LA County is in LA City in the San Fernando Valley, and that property was purchased off market, right? Off the MLS. It never, as the county puts it, never got the on-market exposure, was never on the MLS. A little bit harder. So when we purchased the property, we purchased it for in the mid 300s, right? The county, after we had closed deal, 6 months later, sent me a supplemental tax bill saying, hey, actually, we're going to tax the property in the high 400s. And, for someone who had just bought a house, especially a house that was not in turnkey condition, it was definitely a fixer, and that's why we got it for so cheap. To get a supplemental tax bill in the county telling us, hey, this property's worth in the high 400s, definitely something I was going to contest. So I started talking to my CPA. They didn't think it was worth a squeeze. I start reaching out to tax attorneys, start looking to see who's out there, other accountants, other folks that can possibly help contest this. No one really responded back to my inquiries. Maybe they have little experience. Maybe I didn't search deep enough. Maybe it was just the COVID, right? No one was calling. People were busy. People didn't care. Who knows? No one got back to me. The folks that did, they didn't think it was worth the squeeze. They said, it's only a couple $100. For someone who had just bought their single-family home that was a fixer, a couple $100 can go a long way, especially your tax base will start this amount, and year after year it's going to go up with this tax base. So the lower tax base, the better. I bought it in the mid 300s. That's what I wanted to be taxed at. So I contested it, right? I went to the LA County website. I kind of learned a little bit more. There's two ways, right? There's a formal way and informal way. The formal way is here with the Assessment Appeals Board. That's something where you submit an application. It goes to the Board of Equalization within the County of LA. Here you fill out, again, it's a formal thing. You're going to get a date to kind of plead your case with the county. They're going to ask you why. You provide evidence. There's classes that the county offers on the process and what's going to happen. But when you're filling out that formal application, there's a little section that says, hey, I'm going to submit a formal application, but I would also like an informal reassessment or appeal with the assessor. And that's what this top portion here is, right? So I did that. I said, well, regardless, I'm going the formal route, but it doesn't hurt if I do talk to the informal review with the assessor. Again, this was us buying, the homeowners, going through this appeal process because no professional, no tax professional or lawyer or anything of that sort wanted to help us. So it was us figuring it out. So I checked that box. I did get my formal appeal date. This was weeks, months out in advance. It was going to be remote, online. I was going to have to go present. Couple weeks, if not months after I submitted this formal application, I do get an email from the county, and it was let's see here. It was a real property appraiser from the county and saying, hey, on your application, you put that your property's worth in the mid 300s. We're trying to figure out why you think that your property's valued at that much instead of the high 400s that we're taxing it at. Please send anything that you have to us. So what I did, I sent what the bank, the appraisal had come back, right? And for the bank, the appraiser who came out, they value the property in the mid 300s. So I was like, okay, they've done their due diligence, they have their comps, they have everything. And looking at those comps that were in the appraisal for us to purchase the home, I would say some properties were in the high 200s and then the high 300s. I think not one of the comps that they had about 3 on there. Not one of them went over 400,000. So I sent that over. A couple weeks passed by, I followed up, and then reached back. They reached back out and said, "Hey, look, we're not going to accept that appraisal that you had from the bank because all the comps that they used were off-market properties." So to quote them here, they're not able to find any of those on the MLS. This means that they didn't receive their proper market exposure and that the average prudent buyer couldn't make an offer on them. So with that being said, they said, we're not going to accept those because, again, these were off-market comps. Your property is off-market. The way we assess the value here is of market value. The great thing that came out from that is they said, hey, look, we're not going to accept that, but we're going to reduce your tax base from the high 400s to low 400s. So I think all in all, my new tax base became a $425,000, which was $75,000 more of what we originally purchased the property, but it was $75,000 less than what they were trying to tax us at, right? Again, in the high 400s. All in all, I did get a refund from the county. I think it was $600, $700 back that we had paid in that supplemental tax bill. The beauty of it is that year after year, I'm saving those $600, $700 because my tax base is a lot lower. And again, we know that due to Prop 13, properties are only able to go up to 2%. That means my tax base will only be increased by 2% depending on the economy. But now I'm starting at that lower tax base. So I definitely disagree with that accountant, my CPA, who told me that it's not worth the squeeze. $600, that's like a pretty nice weekend getaway year after year, or that's new windows that for our fixer-upper, that is a paint job, that is, I don't know, whatever you want, $600, that's a lot of money for me, especially year after year. If this was just going to be a flip, maybe not worth the squeeze because I'd be in this house for a year, fix it, sell it, and then, taxes would be for the next person. But this is a live-in fixer. We're still currently living in the property, so our tax base is definitely important. If you are buying an off-market deal, definitely recommend, if you're within the Los Angeles County, submit a formal appeal to the board. If you don't want to go that process, submit the informal one with the assessor. LA County Assessor has a lot of great information on their website. Figure out ways, call them. You can find your local assessor's office. Many forums here if you think your property is declining in value. Do all this stuff. They provide these resources. Yes, they are taking your money, but also it does give you a chance to kind of push back and contest all that. Did I get it down all the way to the mid 300s? No. But again, $75K off my tax assessment. Definitely happy with that. So again, here you have it. This was my experience with the LA County Assessor's Office. Your experience may vary, a lot different. This was super simple for me. I was glad with the results, but definitely give it a try. You never know.